Unicorns in. Hello, beautiful menses. It's Chemory from the Advanced Lightworkers discussion group on Facebook, and I own Life Coaches Toolbox. With me today is Shaman Jonathan.
Greetings.
From the Soul Healer, and Jono and I are going to be having a chat to you today about alternative forms of meditation. So one thing you first got to know is neither Jono nor I is a fan of transcendental meditation at all. Jono, do you want to tell them why?
I think it's become a very commercialized form of meditation, and often the mantras that people are saying don't understand what they are. How many out there know what Om actually means?
The worst part of it for me is that up until a certain point in your spiritual journey, you don't realize that your willpower is actually the thing that takes you through. And willpower is the core of transcendental meditation. It takes serious willpower to get to the point where you are focusing your mind only on that spot. So, like Jono, I prefer alternative forms of meditation for my clients. So, if somebody had to come to you and they've never meditated before, what would you say to them should be the first things they look at?
First thing is set the intention once again. What is the intention of meditating? Is it to receive that elusive answer that you can't get? Is it to just calm the mind? Is it for health benefits? Whatever the benefits may be.
How do you set an intention?
Just merely that. Say it. So before you start meditating or anything, you say, during this meditation, I am battling with finances. As opposed to saying, how am I going to get finances? What is the benefit of finances to me? What is the benefit to me and the community around me?
Or you could ask, what do I need to know to help me unravel the situation?
Yep.
So what you go in expecting at the beginning is going to be what you get out.
Correct.
And if you don't set an intention beforehand?
Well, then you're just going to float. You're going to think about, you're going to be sitting there going, who's going to be paying the bills today? And why am I actually sitting here trying to meditate? Have an intention.
So for most people, when that happens, Brandon Bayes has a fantastic process that she recommends. She says, think of it like birds flying across the sky. So when those thoughts come, and they do, hey, the moment you start trying to focus your head, your mind starts remembering everything you can remember at the office. All the things on your grocery list that you couldn't remember, the things you had to do, that thing you didn't say to your boss, your mind starts with all of that.
Yep.
And what Brandon Bayes says is you've got to kind of let them go like birds across the sky. So birds come and they fly across the sky and then they leave. And you don't see them again. Okay? You don't try and grab them and hold on to them. And when you stop and you start thinking about that thought, then you're holding on to it. So the thought about, oh, okay, I forgot to buy macaroni at the store can come up. But then you let it go and you go back to blank.
Correct.
If you beat yourself up in that space, you're going to, no. But let's go even further, because we're still in that space of transcendental, in your head, focused meditation, and most people that doesn't work for. So if you were totally new to meditation, and you didn't want to buy anything, and you didn't want to set up anything new in your life, what are the things that you already have that are available to you that are meditations?
A bath in the morning or in the afternoons, bath or shower is a form of meditation. Just stilling the mind, spending some me time. You can do movement meditation, yoga.
Yes, yoga's a great one. Dancing's another one. I do dancing a lot as my meditation practice.
Just walking down the road.
Yeah, clearing your mind and just walking down the road. You can take a focus set of words, like a mantra almost, but I prefer to use words that you know. So I love the Ho'oponopono forgiveness mantra. I'm sorry, I love you, I forgive you, please forgive me. And sometimes I'll just go for a walk or do yoga, reciting nothing, but I'm sorry, I love you, I forgive you, please forgive me. Over and over again, and it's a very, very settling feeling. Dance and movement are very, very big ones, and most of us could use a little bit of extra movement in our lives. So I love saying to clients, do something like take an infinity symbol. Carol Tuttle, I think it was, has a very nice meditation process where she says, pull the energies you want towards you in an infinity shape, and then you push away the negative energies you don't want, pull the energies towards you. And just standing and moving like this, would that be effective as a meditation?
100%. And also, I think people have the misconception that you have to get into the full lotus position, get your fingers perfectly right in a circle, and meditate for hours on end. You can literally 30 seconds, even as you say, doing a mantra that you know, like whether it be a forgiveness mantra or an abundance mantra, that I'm looking for abundance, you can do that driving to work. You can do that in the bus or the train.
And you can do it instead of listening to the news, because the news is just going to fill you with negativity. At least then you're dedicating the time to spending thinking about what it is that you're creating. Because that's one of the biggest parts of creating something, is the consistent time that you repeatedly apply to thinking about it. Okay, so music is another great one. Putting on songs that really fill your heart and singing loud.
Yeah. And again, they don't have to be these huge spiritual things. As a shaman, people often ask me, why do you enjoy rock? I enjoy rock music.
Yes, in my house, God is a DJ and comes up with some unusual choices sometimes. But worship, again, is a form of meditation, because meditation is connecting yourself to God. So would it be fair then to also say that prayer is a form of meditation? It's about the focus and connection.
How I look at it is the best way to speak to the divine is through prayer.
Mm-hmm.
The best way to listen to the divine is through meditation.
Yes.
Because often we sit down and we close our eyes and we say, Dear God, please get me out of this terrible situation. Amen. And we up and we go and make a cup of coffee. We never allow the divine to come back and give us the answers how we're going to get out of this situation.
So effectively then, the meditation practice is basically to give your body and yourself something to do so that the thoughts can arrive in your mind.
Yeah, and even if you just, as I say, pray, and then just for 30 seconds, just be calm. You don't have to concentrate on something or sit in the full lotus, as I said. Just be calm and allow that intuition to come through.
And lastly, if you're a more physical person, would you say that you can effectively apply sports and martial arts and stuff like that as forms of meditation?
Yeah, different people resonate with different types of meditation. Some people love guided meditation. Others hate it because they're getting pushed in a certain direction. Golfers, I do a lot of work with golfers. When they're on the golf course in nature, those 18 holes is meditation. So those 2 to 3 hours is full meditation.
Yeah, and that's a fantastic practice. Speaking of guided meditations, if you are somebody, as a hypnotherapist myself, if you are somebody that does not enjoy guided meditations, as a hypnotherapist, I'm going to be honest and say that I don't. I really don't enjoy having somebody guide me through hypnosis or meditation. I would recommend that you try going to a specific practitioner. So when you as a practitioner are sitting there and guiding somebody through a meditation or a hypnosis session, you are watching for certain markers in them that indicate that they have dropped to a lower level of consciousness, that they're more open to what you're talking about. And a problem that you'll experience if you're only looking at guided meditations that are pre-recorded is that the person is not able to mark you. They're not able to notice what's happening with you, and so a lot of the cues will be off. If you've written off guided meditations because you've only ever tried audio or video versions online, I would recommend that you do try going to a coach or a hypnotherapist or a shaman to actually have that done for you before you write it off completely. The experience when it's personalized to you is dramatically different to listening to something that somebody pre-recorded online to cater to a mass audience. Okay.
And what was their intention with those mass audience? What is your personal intention?
Yes. Intention with absolutely everything. So I hope we've given you some great ideas for alternative forms of meditation. Meditation's an important practice. Don't let it be something that slips to the sidelines, because if you create a habit of it, it is something that you will always be able to fall back on, and you'll always have benefit from having that around as a habit. So we're looking forward to more questions from you guys. Please let us know what else you need to know in terms of basics, and we'll get the videos to you. Love and light.
Lots of blessings.
Unicorns out.